Good morning, everyone. Thank you for attending another pre-market PulseScan with yours truly, the algo capitalist, aka the Vulcan, with Dex from PulseWaveTrading.com. Can you believe it? Today is already Tuesday, January the 28th of 2020. Seems like we just celebrated New Year's, and now here we are already deep into January, about to be February. So, what have we here? Well, for one thing, today starts the two-day meeting, and basically, the Fed is going to be talking about interest rates, things of that nature, see what it is they can do, blah, blah, blah. I don't think the markets really care, to be quite honest with you. So, especially now with the market movement that we had last night and the market movement we had yesterday, I really don't think that the Fed gives a darn, because there's nothing they can do about it, to be quite honest with you. All right, so let's get into some news here. All right, let's see. First thing we got on the docket, we talked about the Fed. This is day one of their two-day meeting, so we'll get the FOMC information tomorrow, Wednesday, around 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, so here's what's happening. Donald Trump's repeated threats have irritated the UK, and it plans to defy him and strike a deal with Huawei. Trump has threatened to cut off its intelligence sharing arrangement with the UK if the deal goes ahead. Europe's popular challenger banks Revolut, Monzo, and Starling are in a fundraising arms race. Unicorn fintech startup Revolut is set to close funding on Thursday that is expected to value the company at $5 billion. All right, great for the bottom line, but awful for society. More than 350 Amazon workers slammed its climate policies in defiance of a crackdown on dissent. Amazon confirmed it won't allow employees to publicly disparage the company. I mean, it makes sense. Why would you bite the hand that's feeding you? Especially with politics. Why do people want companies to be so political? Companies don't need to be political. Companies just need to be companies that make money for their shareholders and pay their employees a living wage. That's what you want companies to do. All this political stuff, all these ideologies that you want your company to be involved in, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's got to stop, folks. This whole social justice warrior foolishness has got to stop. I mean, you guys allow these deep left liberal nut jobs to put all these foolish ideas in your head. You let them put a battery in your back at these whack universities that aren't teaching you anything but what? Liberal arts, which is just code word for degrees in nothingness. You let them put a battery in your back telling you need to go out here and save the world, save the whales, save the baby dolphins foolishness. And all the while, you're not doing anything. You're not making the world a better place. You're being an idiot. You're being a tool for the shadow government. That's what you're doing. All right? You're being a puppet. You're being a useful idiot. You need to stop it. Go get a job and contribute to society the right way. Not trying to bend people to your own ideologies. It's funny. It gets me. So you preach inclusion and unity and let's not judge and all this other stuff. But then on the other hand, you say you hate Christianity, you hate the Judeo-Christian faith, and you always want to say, stop preaching to me, stop preaching to us. We don't believe in your God. We don't believe in your ideologies, and we don't believe in your worldview. And you hate the Judeo-Christian faith, but yet you're out there doing the same thing. You're out there preaching, and I'm sorry, you're not just preaching, you're forcing compliance to your ideas. You're forcing people, all right? You're forcing them to bend to your will. And if they don't, you want to throw them in jail. That's what you want to do. You got to rethink your priorities. You're being a tool. And meanwhile, while you're doing that, things are getting worse. Tyranny is increasing. Fascist government is increasing while you're doing that. It's ridiculous, the world that we live in today, folks. All right. Jeff Bezos hosted an extravagant after party for a secret club whose members wear gold medals, and it was attended by Ivanka Trump and Bill Gates. Bezos hosted the after party for the, I'm probably going to tear this up, Alfalfa Club dinner, an elite event that hosts political figures, top business executives, and celebrities. Interesting. Notice how even when when they give you these breaking headlines and stories, I'm sure the people who are writing it have no idea sometimes what they're writing. It's hilarious. They just told you right here. I just finished talking about fascism a moment ago, and yet here it is. They're telling you right now. They're showing you how government and corporations have merged. They're under one happy tent. And then they threw in there the celebrities, which is the front line of the shadow government, the fascist regime. They use celebrities to push their agenda. The celebrities are the spokespeople of the government's bidding. That's how it goes. That's how it always goes. So notice how the only people that were allowed at this party were political figures. That's what they call them. They don't want to say, the president, the vice president. They don't want to say, yeah, this Democratic Party, the Republican Party, all these people who run government. They didn't want to say, yeah, the CIA director was there and the FBI director. No, they just say political figures, top business executive, which is code word for the big Fortune 500 companies. And then they just say celebrities. All right. Influencers. All right. That's what they call them. Celebrities are influencers. All right. They influence people to buy things and to do things they otherwise would not have done. Sold out Amazon sellers are warning shoppers about counterfeit face masks as demand soars amid coronavirus fears. The sellers are warning shoppers against buying counterfeit products and disclaimers on their product page. All right. So many drones and aircraft swarmed the site of Kobe Bryant's helicopter crash that the FAA was forced to close the airspace. The restriction is in effect until the end of the month to prevent aircraft from entering the airspace, a rare occurrence for crashes. First of all, let's just be honest. Let's be honest. Why do they care? Why do they have to go through all of that? Is it because they don't want you taking pictures? Is it because they don't want you getting to knowledge of the truth if there is some type of conspiracy going on? Is it because they want to cover that up? Is that what this is? It makes you wonder, doesn't it? It really makes you wonder. So many drones, huh? Well, how did they know where those drones were coming from? And what do you mean close down the airspace? How you know it wasn't another arm of the government flying those drones? How you know it wasn't foreign governments flying those drones? This makes you always want to say, what is really going on? And notice how these face masks were being sold out. Man, it is so much fear porn going on with this coronavirus, man. Look, let me tell you something. First of all, this coronavirus is not going to wipe out the world, okay? And it's not going to wipe out a third of the population, just like SARS didn't. All right. This is not the global pandemic. This is not the Black Death 2.0. All right, that's what they're telling you. It's not. Calm down. All you need to do is practice good hygiene, and you're 90% already there. All right, 90% there if you just practice good hygiene, such as washing your hands. Do you know what washing your hands can do? It will cut down on a lot of spread of disease, regardless of, the coronavirus or anything in the SARS family. I can't tell you how many times I go to public restrooms and I see people in there coming out of the stalls and exiting the restroom without washing their hands. It's absolutely disgusting. I tell you, it is disgusting. I can't believe that I actually see stuff like that, but I am. It's an awful thing to see, especially when you see it happen in a restaurant. I remember one time going to the restaurant at this restaurant, and I see a guy with the chef hat on or whatever. He comes out of the stalls and he doesn't wash his hands and he just walks right out of the restroom. I'm like, oh my goodness, you guys are absolutely bugging. How can you use the restroom and not wash your hands, especially after doing number 2? All right. Come on. Really, folks? Really? Really? This is what we're doing? Do you know how that will cut down on the spread of disease? Just by washing your nasty, trifling hands. If people stop being so trifling, all right, we wouldn't have this spread of disease. But no, we do. We do. People are rude and obnoxious, especially in public spaces. Every time I go to the grocery store, I can't defend myself well enough. All right. Because, oh, and by the way, yes, I did walk out at a restaurant. To be quite truthful with you, I wasn't eating at that restaurant that day. I stopped by because I had to use the bathroom. You ever had that where you got to know where all the bathrooms are in your area? So I ran in there to use the bathroom, and I was shocked when I saw the guy come out the stalls and wash their hands. And I was like, I'm glad we don't eat here anymore. So anyway, back to the other story. So I can't go to the grocery store and protect myself well enough because people are so obnoxious and trifling now. They want to sneeze and cough in your face. Whatever happened to when you're coughing or sneezing, you put your face in in the fold of your arm and protect and protect people. That's what you're supposed to do. When you're sneezing or coughing, you put your mouth right in the folds of your forearm and your elbow. It protects people. That way, spit isn't flying everywhere, and cough is not flying everywhere. A sneeze can travel at least 15 feet. Did you know that? So, and then people are coughing. So, in any type of airborne virus or what have you, they're just going all over the place. Your DNA is flying everywhere. That's how you're supposed to cover and protect yourself if you're not wearing a mask, okay? All right, so there you go. Hygiene 101. You really want to protect the environment, you green conspiracy theorist nut jobs? You really want to protect the environment? Cover your mouth when you're sneezing and coughing and wash your trifling hands. You nasty blinking blinks. All right? That's what you need to do. All this other stuff, trying to go green, I'm going to have to do a whole separate thing on the whole green nonsense. All right? All it is going to put money, even more money, in the hands of the few. You guys cry about the 1%. This is going to put money in the 0.1%. Like 2 people are going to get all the money globally. That's how you're going to make the first trillionaire if this whole green thing goes. All right. And this whole carbon emissions foolishness. They want to charge you for your breath now, charge you for your breathing. It's just ridiculous. And then they call it science. I keep telling you, it's not science. It's science fiction. You have science, the religion, and then you have scientific method. That's it. And anything that they don't want you to truly research and debate openly and publicly is then you have to understand it's science religion that they're really dealing with. That's why they don't want to debate it. All right, openly. And they don't want to take questions either. They don't want to have it like a town hall meeting type of thing. They don't want that. They don't want a live on air debate where people can call in and question and you know, they don't want that. They don't want that. So what they'll say is they'll bring you a bunch of their paid people and parade those in front of you and tell you what they want you to know and hear, and you're supposed to just trust and believe them because they have the initials PhD or MD after their name. That doesn't mean anything. They could have graduated at the bottom % of their class. You don't know. All right, and even if they didn't, it doesn't mean that they're telling the truth. They're being paid to be paraded in front of you, and then they call it facts. It's not facts. Anyway, so we're not tripping off of that. All right, Hillary Clinton slammed Mark Zuckerberg as authoritarian and predicted that Facebook is going to re-elect Trump. Clinton also called Mark Zuckerberg Trumpian and said Facebook's ad policies would reflect Trump in a new interview. Well, if that ain't the pot calling the kettle black. She is not in a position to say and do anything. Who is she to say anything about anybody? All of the conspiracies and stuff that the Clintons have been involved in, all the bodies. Have you checked the body count for them? I don't know who has more bodies, the Clintons or the what was that? I forgot the dude's name now. The one who was in office during 9/11. I don't know which family has more bodies. I've lost count. I don't know. There's so many bodies. There's so many bodies. I would tell you, hey, if you don't believe me, Google it, but we can't even say that anymore since Google has changed the internet and the way that you search and research information. Anything that's the truth, you're not going to be able to find. Anything that's a lie, you will find. It's just ridiculous. So, anywho, moving right along. All right, Byte, the U.S. homegrown competitor to TikTok, admitted to a huge bot problem just 2 days after launching. Byte is the latest hot new looping video app built by a co-founder of Vine. See, that's another issue, guys. People create these apps, right? And they create, and it's the same thing everywhere. People create technology. They create software. But they don't test their software. How can you create these programs and not back test it, not test the stuff to make sure that there's no problems in your program? And I'm gonna tell you something else. I believe in my heart that they knowingly know that they got bugs and stuff before they even launch, and they still launch anyway because they're greedy and they feel, hey, if the people don't say nothing about it, oh, we ain't got to worry about it. Let's make all this money real quick, and then we don't have to worry about it. It's ridiculous. I've spoken on this before, especially in the video game industry and especially in the computer industry. It's the same thing. They'll put out these products, and they're going off of the hype of their name. So they know that they'll come off a new product, and the whole world's going to buy it regardless if the thing works or not, or if it's going to frustrate you to death or not. They don't care. They don't care. I can't tell you how many computers I've gone through. And then when you go and you take it in for service, or you do some research, look into it, the whole world is complaining and having the same problem. And then the companies, they claim they don't know anything about it. They want to play mum with you and say, "Oh, well, this is the first time no one's really talking about this issue. So this is the first time I heard of this. I don't know what to tell you." And then when you do bring it in for service, they say, "Oh, there's something wrong that you must have done." They put it back on you. Apple computer. Yeah, I have a Apple desktop that I bought in 2016, brand spanking new. The thing, it just came out, and I can't even use it anymore. The thing won't even boot up. And when you go online and do research, you find out that thousands of other people just like you bought the same computer, and voila, it's a problem. Sometimes you'll get lucky and the company will say, "Yeah, we noticed that problem." And then in the following year, they say, "Okay, guess what? We got a new computer. We finally fixed the problem." Wait a minute. Why come out with a new computer when all you have to do is fix the current one you have? Doesn't make any sense. You see the stupid thinking process that goes into this. This is why the world is in trouble. All right, this is just as stupid as a man who leaves his wife and children after being a horrible husband and a horrible dad, runs off with his mistress, divorces his wife, marries the mistress, has kids with the mistress, and now he's dad of the year. And in his mind, he's like, "Well, I made it up to my first batch of children by being a better dad to these children." No, what you do with those children has no effect on the children that you dissed and you left. You idiot. What kind of thinking is that? But see, that's the kind of mentality that we're getting. And this same mentality is the same mentality that says, let's put out a product that's not finished. Let's put out a product that has bugs in it. Who cares? We'll get rich. We'll sell millions of them and we'll get rich. By the time they figure out that it's a problem, we'll be on moving on. And you know what? The sheeple are so ignorant that they will buy the next product we put out. It's what they do. It's how they get down. And until the people stand up and say, "We're not going to buy your foolishness anymore," that'll be the only thing to bring about change, folks. Motorola is warning people not to add screen protectors to the new Razr and says bumps and lumps under the screen are normal. The company is setting expectations before Razr fans get their hands on the highly anticipated Razr foldable smartphone revival. See, I just finished talking about this. Now they want to normalize inferiority. They're normalizing it. They're telling you that lumps and bumps under the screen is normal. It's normal. What are you complaining about? It's normal. Okay, the sky has always had chemtrails in it. It's normal. Those streaks you see in the sky, they're normal. What are you talking about? Having the diseases and stuff that come out like coronavirus every couple of years is normal. I heard the talking heads yesterday say that every 4 years some type of a pandemic virus gets out there like this. He said it's normal. Incredible. I can't believe what I'm reading and what I'm hearing. Vermont could be the first state with emoji license plates. The bill will allow Vermonters to add emoji to vanity license plates, which no U.S. state currently allows. Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. I really could care less about that particular story. First of all, in my humble opinion, why do we even need license plates? Why do we have to have permission to drive a car that we paid for? Why do you need a license anyway? I don't understand that. The word license is a foreign language to say tax / permission. You need permission nowadays to do anything. You can't do anything without permission. and being shaken down by your government. Your government wants to shake you down at every turn. You want to do this? Got to pay a license. Want to do that? Got to pay a license. Everything is requiring a license. What kind of foolishness is this? You can't do nothing without getting permission. A license is permission and a tax. It's no different, and I say it again, it is no different than paying protection money to some mobster. That's what it is. You're being shook down. Except for the mobster this time is not, some cigar smoking Don. Instead, it's your government. All right? Shaking you down at every turn. It is absolutely ridiculous. All right? It's ridiculous. But that's what we're dealing with. All right? So I just had to put that out there. We go over these news stories because they're important. It's important to follow the money. It's important to know what's going on in the world and not be blind to what's happening. All right. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Let's take a look at these markets. All right. So right now, the Dow futures are up 111 points at 28,590. The E-mini S&P 500 is up 19 points at 3258.5. E-mini NASDAQ 100 is up 74.25 points at 9028.75. The Russell futures is up 11.8 points at 1656. We got gold futures down $1.80 at 1575.60. Silver down 25 at $17.80. Crude oil is up 7 cents at 53.22. We got Bitcoin futures up $190 at 91.85, right, trading right near the high of the session. The US dollar index is up 12 ticks at 98.08. The long bond is down for 30 seconds at 161.29. And we have the euro yen down 8 pips at 119.93. All right, so let's talk about the obvious. All right, so did I or did I not warn and speak to you all about what you could expect in these markets today in last night's end of day report? All right. I gave you the rally alerts. I gave you the crash alerts. I told you what was what. I told you what to look for. Well, so far the market is shaping up to do exactly as anticipated. I knew that today would be a take back Tuesday, turnaround Tuesday, however you want to say it. That's what the market is doing. However, the way that it's moving right now is setting up for another leg down, which is what we talked about. The market wants to be taken seriously. It wants to rally. It wants to get beyond all of the news and just take off and run to the moon. All right. The market is a prized racehorse that enjoys running. It wants to run. All right. It wants to be left alone so it can run. That's all it wants to do is run. You can't blame a horse for wanting to run. Well, this horse the horsey wants to get up and go. All right. So the horsey wants to be left alone to run in the wild. And that's what's happening right now. All right. The horsey is trying to run. All right. So when we look at these markets, this is what we see. All right. So let's look at our possible 2-bar Charlie setups. We did have a couple yesterday, and the market did exactly as I told you. Remember how I explained to you about the 2-bar Charlie setups? The 2-bar Charlie setups, they let you know when there's when you're going to have an all-day up day or all-day down day, and let you know where the money's going to be, what side of the market the money's going to be flowing. And that's what we saw yesterday. The markets were down and finished in the red, just like I told you they would. Now, today, the markets are going to struggle to finish in the green to set up the next leg down after the FOMC announcement tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, so been running my mouth for a little bit. Now I got to tell you where everything is. Let's see. I know I saw something. Okay. Yeah. All right. So the NASDAQ 100 has a bullish two-bar Charlie setup. So it is poised to finish green on the day. It's going to be an all-day up day. Let's see what else. I know I saw another one besides that one. Maybe it was in my mind. All right. So that's all I can see. That's all I can see right now. If you all see one that I'm just not seeing and I some kind of way missed it, you can let me know in the comments, and then we'll break it down. Okay, here's one. We got a bearish two-bar Charlie in the soybean futures. Let's see what else we got. What else we got? That's about it. Yeah, that's it. Market's not giving up too much today. Just the soybean futures. So if you're looking to short that, then you should have the world on your side for that one. All right. So with that being said, that's about it, folks. I'm done ranting and raving like a mad lunatic. I think I've put her all in there. All right. So I will be seeing you all a little later. If I don't do a live stream this morning, I will definitely be preparing to do a FOMC live stream tomorrow. Would you guys like that? I know this will be the first FOMC live stream of the year. I know people love my FOMC live streams, so that's when I show you what's about to happen, and then when it happens, we start laughing. So yeah, we can do that. I will plan an FOMC live stream for tomorrow, for that 2 o'clock announcement. And then we can get down and do some stuff. All right. So you guys have your marching orders. You have your PulseWave price trigger reports for this morning. You got time to now go in and put your tickets in, and I'll be in the trading room if you guys need help or have any questions on getting your orders in. Oh, I did go ahead and put a ticket in short on the euro yen this morning based on the PulseWave price trigger report. So that's what I did. You can find those entries and setups on the forex report. You can also find them, excuse me, on the daily post picks. That should be on there too. All right. With that said, love you guys, man. Be encouraged. Hook me up. Hit that like button, man. Hook a brother up by hitting that like button. Share the video with somebody. You never know who it may help or encourage. And don't forget to sign up at pulsewavetrading.com. Right now, you can set up a free account, and there's some goodies we got there for you. And there's some amazing offers as well. With that being said, remember, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. Oh, and let's give a big applaud for the Bitcoin rally alert breakout, people. I know some of you guys stayed up in there and overnight, and you're just loving life. You're just popping your way through the trade. That's what we do. We pop our way through trades. So that's what's up, man. Just want to give a shout out to that. The Bitcoin is doing what it do. It's moving, and it's going to continue to do so. Now, I will say this, though, on the I did forget to mention this on the futures. Okay, I did warn last night, I think. I was telling you guys to beware of the swift intraday reversals. It is possible, but it's not likely. But I still just want you to keep an eye out. Go ahead and continue to move those stops, manage the position. All right, don't turn this winning trade into a losing trade, but just be prepared. Have your eyes and ears open. I don't think the market's gonna do that today, but there is a chance that it could. We did pick up some abnormalities in the market, and I just want to throw that out there. Okay. All right, people. I'm out. See y'all in the trading room. Peace.